this is series 2 on this special anniversary shoot. Hope you have seen the first video and hope you are watching all the videos. Okay, they're in different series with this fine girl.
So hi guys, so today we're going to be talking about how we met. And to be honest, it's a whole movie on its own.
I'm telling you.
Serious movie. All the orchestration, all things God had to do to get us together. I'm telling you, we're very deep.
Yeah, so like I said in the first video, I was pretty much content. Most of my mates married years and years before me. Most of them had a relationship from university days. My own days, I was just serious with God. Didn't have time for, for a relationship. So just having a lot of good Christian and godly man and seeking the Lord. But when I was now getting of age and I wanted to settle down, because I was doing ministry, there was a lot of pressure, to settle down and all that, and they help her badly, to help my whole life, So I began to look for a wife, and it was work. It was work. And then we read the scripture, we've always been taught the scripture, Proverbs 18, I think 22 or so, that says, "He that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor." So they've always interpreted that he that findeth as like go and find. So we thought it was a mechanical thing now. But later, after many years of coaching, I understand that Proverbs 19 also mentions that wealth and riches are things you will inherit from your father. But a prudent wife only comes from the Lord. So and it says a virtuous woman who can find. So the finding in Proverbs 18 wasn't talking about you just manually finding. We're just describing what happens when a man has found. But the process of finding, you have to do it with God. It says a prudent wife comes from God. A virtuous woman who can find. It's not something you can find for yourself. So I understand better now. But then, I didn't know that. So I was finding around Lagos. I find it. I finding. I don't know what to say. I suffered in Lagos. So I had guys in different big churches, all the big churches, at the time, Fountain of Life, House on the Rock, all those major churches that had all those tush girls, Redeem, some big Redeem. So I had all my friends. I said, look, I'm looking for a wife. If you see any fine girl, this, just call me. And truly, some of them were calling me, and that's when I learned roads in Lagos. So I didn't used to go out so much. When there was time, they would call me, hey, come now, service about to end. I've seen one girl, come. And I went that road and drive through traffic to get there. And I say, come, run. I'll get there and meet the girl up there. So this is why you called me. I said, why you know Mariam? I said, but really, so it was horrible. That's why I knew that it's difficult for people to actually be able to, God is still the best matchmaker. I wish people can understand that. God is still the best matchmaker. I mean, dating site has nothing on God. I'm telling you. Hookups have nothing on God.
That's it.
God is still the
moment
best
right there.
matchmaker. And it just, let me not jump ahead of myself. So I went around like that. There was even one I drove from Festac to Badagry. Long distance. Got there like this when I met the girl. I was looking for how to escape. The girl was saying, you're not talking, I'll be going. I'm saying, look. That's the prayer. How you will be going is what I'm even thinking. That's why I'm not talking. I met all kinds of people because I'm running up and down, and when I got tired, when God told the blessed Adam with a wife, he had to put Adam to sleep. Yeah. Sometimes if you can't sleep, God can't, do something major in your life. It's like surgery. If they're gonna do surgery in your life, they're gonna have to make you sleep. If they don't make you sleep, you'll be interrupting the whole thing. When they bring out the knife, you just hold your hands. You'll be interrupting everything. The scalpel is knife now. They say going under the knife.
Template.
My brother, leave me. His knife. So this is how she looks at my trouble. Melancholy people, they are always like that. They know that we sanguine can find a way to dagbo anything. So
Poppy.
So what was I saying?
When they bring out the knife, you interrupt.
So you just interrupt because God needs to put you to sleep to carry out a major surgery in your life. So that's why I suffered around Lagos. Had scouts and they kept calling me, but nothing major ever happened. So what happened in your own life?
Okay, so like I said in the previous video, I was already in a relationship. I was engaged. Our families had met. They had done the first introduction, the very first one, which is a knocking on the door. So families had come to know each other and all of that. Interestingly, in that relationship, we had a lot of breakup. So there are lots of times we had broken up. I think we were together for 5 years and we broke up 7 times. Wow. And interestingly, all 7 times he ended it and he came back by himself. But the background to this is that it just seemed like the perfect thing for me because I already had been diagnosed with PCOS and some other health issues. So it only made sense to marry a doctor. And if a doctor proposed, and he seemed like, apart from being a doctor, he was crazy about me. Absolutely adored me. So it just seemed like a perfect thing to do and to be in. So we had our tough times, we had our turbulent times, we had our quarrel times, we had our moments, you know. We had a lot of those moments, But we had a few, they were good times, to be honest. So at some point, when he was about to leave the country, we considered us doing a court wedding, and then he would go, then I'll go and join him. But I wasn't at peace about it, and he too wasn't so sure about it. He just kept saying, I don't think we're ready, I don't think we're ready. And so when he left, the plan was he will come back after a while, then we'll get married, then I'll go with him. So in fact, I'd sent some of my stuff with him, planning that, you know, it'll make it easier for me when I'm ready to go. I won't take so many things, because guys never have load anyway. So he left. I was doing my master's in Unilag at the time. And then one morning, you know, we had settled, everything had just been, we had been doing well, everything had been fine. In fact, the last year we were together was the best year of our life, because we didn't quarrel so much, there was no breakup, everything was just fine. We got a rhythm. Like I said, we were always apart, so that last year we were together, so we had found a rhythm, we had come to understand each other and everything. So that morning, I was supposed to have tutorials in school because we had exams. And so I was about to take a bath. I went into the bathroom, and then I felt this unusual, not unusual, but like I said, because I had spent time grooming myself on how God speaks to me. So I knew how God speaks to me, and I know the atmosphere when God literally steps into a room. So I felt the very strong presence of God, and I heard God say, I want to speak to you. So I left everything in the bathroom and I went into my room. And in this part of the world where we live, NEPA used to take lights. So NEPA took lights. And so when I walked into the room, there was no lights. So I got on my knees, of course, with my Bible, and I was worshiping. The light came on, and I had this CD player back then that when they bring the light, is where it stopped, that it will continue playing from. And then I heard this Johnny McLaughlin song playing in the background. Yes, I will trust you, Lord. So before that, he has this whole repertoire where he goes on about, what if I ask you to give up the very thing you hold so dear? Then he says, yes, I will trust you, Lord. What if, you know? So me too, I was saying it. I was really ad-libbing self, doing all kinds of things. I was really not knowing, not knowing that the yes, I will trust you, Lord, was a strong thing God was going to ask me for. So after a while, I started reading the Bible, and then it was about where Jesus was talking to the woman at the well. And when he saw the woman at the well, and then he was telling her that if you know the person who's asking for water, you ask him for water, because the water he will give you, you will never thirst again. And the woman said, oh, of course, I want that water. And then the next thing he said to her was, go and call your husband. And then she said, oh, I don't have a husband. And then Jesus said to her, you rightfully said, because you've had 5 husbands. He said, but the man that you're with is not your husband. And it seemed like someone used a highlighter pen. You know those highlighter pens that I use in the Bible? To just mark that place. As I said, the man that you're with is not your husband. I really felt every hair on my body stand on end. Like, you know how you're like, what? I knew the only thing missing was for them to put Mildred, the man you are with is not your husband. Full stop. You know, I just knew that word was mine. It was so accurate. And that's how God always speaks to me. He speaks to me through the word, literally. If I show it to anyone, you will know that this is God speaking to me. So I knew, hey, I said, God, you are playing rough play. Holy Spirit, this is very, very rough play. How is the man? What are you talking about? Like, this, I literally started having this conversation with him. Like, what are you talking about? Anybody passing by my room would have thought I was crazy, because I went on a tirade, literally, like, what are you talking about? That man I'm with is not my husband. What's that? You didn't tell me the first year, you didn't tell me the second year, you didn't tell me the third year. What kind of joke is this one? So I really went off. I was all over the place. And then God said to me, but I told you. I'm like, I don't even, no, see, let's not do this right now. How old am I? Then I will now start looking for a boyfriend. Then I will now know whether I will work with them. Will he agree that I have PCOS? I can't even do this, Lord. I can't do this. So what's going on and on? And then when he said to me, but I said this day, I said, no. You not say, how can you tell me to do something? Because I kind of really pride myself on being able to obey God. Anything God tells me, I don't care. I will just do it. I make everything for Jesus. I said, can you tell me to walk away from this? And I did not walk away. Something that we're always quarreling. Something that I just went on and on. And then God said to me, your journal of 2003. I was like, my journal of 2003, where am I going to find it? Yeah, I know it sounds like a movie, but it literally just tumbled down from the shelf, the bookshelf. And I opened it, and lo and behold, first page. I'm probably going to look for that thing so I can show you people. They'll probably get a picture of it so you guys will see that it's real. The first page was, forget the former things of old, for behold, I do a new thing. And I remember that happened when we had broken up. There was one major breakup that we had. And he was asking me, he was begging to come back, and I was praying about it, that God, should I even continue this thing? Today break up, tomorrow break up. I don't even have power. I feel like any small thing, he can walk away. Any small thing can walk away. So are we even going to have a marriage that is sustained? I was just thinking about it. And the Lord gave me that scripture. And I felt, and this is where having counselors is important. Because I didn't really have those kind of voices in my life in my dating years. If I had, I'm sure somebody would have been able to interpret this to me clearly. The scripture was, forget the former things of old, for behold, I do a new thing. And I thought what God was saying was, forget all the fighting of old, for I want to do a new thing with both of you. And because I thought that, I just felt, okay, let's forgive and let's start afresh. And to be honest, that 1 year after, everything seemed good. So I really believe that I heard God correctly. So I believe that, yeah, there are times we think we hear God, but out of the mouth of 2 or 3, it's important that you get counsel and talk to someone. And so at that time, I knew that there's no escaping this. God has confirmed his word. I told you before, you did not hear. Now I'm telling you again. And this is your last chance before you get into this thing. And Basuke and I had just met at the time. It was a period of reunion or something. So let me let you get into reunion so we can come back to this.
The continuation of this is going to be in How You Knew I Was the One. That's the next series from this. So let's finish How We Met. I'm going to finish with How We Met. Okay. Then you're going to continue this gist in How You Knew. Yeah. Because that's what you want to go into. You wanted to go into How You Knew I Was the One.
No, I was going to go into How We Met.
Oh, okay.
The reunion. So you have to talk about the fact that, yes, you have to talk about your side so that I can get to my side.
Yes. Okay. After I went around Lagos, I didn't find. So when I was a bit more calm, one day God just started inspiring me to do a reunion for secondary school mates. You see, and God is just, that's just the thing about God. Most of the time when God is speaking to us, we want him to bring a human being, say, I want to marry, God just break your roof, bush, and one girl just fall, blah, or a man just land, bush. That's not jam your car.
Just out of curiosity, why is the girl falling boa and the guy falling bish?
Yes, it's just different. The men and women, when they fall, they sound different now.
These are the things I deal with.
Or the man just jam your car, boom.
And then the women will jam it how?
You just jam your, people just marry from there and jam your destiny. God. That's not how it works. Sometimes the answer is in the obedience, because God is not a magician. I tell people that in church all the time. True. The difference between miracles and magic. People confuse miracles and magic. In miracles, in magic rather, you don't do anything. It's abracadabra. It's an illusion. It's not real. So it's all fake. But in miracles, usually there's some obedience. There are some steps. You see all the miracles God did. They told them, take this water, go and serve. Take this water, go and serve the chairman of the occasion. What do you have in your house? Bring the 5 loaves. There were always little to open the tomb for me to call Lazarus. There were different things. So that's when the miracle and magic. Okay, so sometimes it's in those little obedience, and sometimes the instruction can look very unrelated to what you were praying for. That's the thing. It can be very unrelated. So for me, I needed a wife. In fact, at the time God was even inspiring me to do reunion, there was no connection between those two things. I wasn't actively even praying every day. I was just living my life, and I just kept having the burden that, you guys should, I really enjoyed my secondary school. I loved command. And God, I just felt in my heart that she didn't like command. I don't know what's wrong with her.
They punished me.
But command gave you the best gift of your life now. The same command that you don't like. People are ungrateful in this life. I'm just telling you.
They punished me over that school.
I like the school. So God just, I started feeling in my heart, to do that reunion, to organize. So I started calling a few friends, and we started organizing it. And, we came together, started having meetings, calling people. Then we decided to have a meeting. We wanted to have a meeting on with one of our guys' houses. His name is Abiodun Adedeji. I can never forget the guy. You know, Abiodun Adedeji. So we're supposed to have a meeting.
Is it Adedeji or Oladeji?
It's Oladeji.
It's Oladeji.
My brother Adedeji Shade.
Biodun Oladeji.
Biodun Oladeji, eh? Wherever he is. I saw him in London some years ago too. Biodun, how are you doing? I never see you since. So if you watch this, reach out. So we're going to have the meeting, the organizing committee meeting in that Biodun's house. And when we finished the meeting, it was already dark. And Biodun now said, but there's one other command person that lives on this street.
No, there are two.
There are two people, but he
took people to Kemi.
You took us to Kemi first?
Yes, took it to Kemi. Then Kemi brought you. It was Kemi.
Okay,
Biodun bring you to my house.
Yeah, okay. So the Biodun said there are some command people there were like 2 or 3 command people that live around.
Yes.
But on the street itself, I think
there were 2 of us.
So which kind of street is that have 3 people the same general? You know, so he took us to the Kemi's house. Then Kemi is also in London also. Why
yes, Kemi is in London. Yeah,
everybody's in London. This is London.
Kemi Peters.
Kemi Peters, I think she's married.
She's now with Doniji.
Okay, so wow, okay. So
so he took you to Kemi's house. Then Kemi said, "Oh, there's one more person, but Mildred, she know they like this kind of things. Yeah. But let me go first." Okay. So she came. Okay. So this is the part of the gist you don't know. Okay. So she came inside. There was no light in my house. She came upstairs. Yeah. So I was upstairs. I was loosening my hair. I just had braids. I was loosening my hair. I wasn't just looking good at all. So she came upstairs and said, Mildred, there are people downstairs. I said, you brought people to my house. I don't understand. She just said, I mean, you God one bless. Me, I was already blessed. I carry ring now, you know. And God now said, Kevin now said that no, that is not her fault. That command people that they bombarded her. I said, command people, who are they? She now said, oh, there's kingsley-okonkwo. I said, I don't know. I don't remember him. Said Biodun Awofusi is there. Yeah, I said Biodun Oladeji. Yeah. I said, so what do people want? She said, that please, that should just come down. That should just say hi, that they're on their way out. It's not that kind of thing. I should just quickly say hello and let them go. I was so upset. I said I was going to kill her after. She's struggling with me. She said, please just come. I said, I'm not, she just tie your hair. So I wore my father's jalabia. Yes. There's one silk cream jalabia. Yes. I just wore it and then tied my hair. Yes. And I came out and said, thankfully there was no light. My dad wasn't back, so the gen wasn't on. So I came downstairs grumbling and really upset with her. So I came down and just snapped out of it for some reason. This just made me have a good attitude. I came down and Biodun Awofusi was my friend. So I saw Biodun. I was like, oh, hi, Biodun, long time and all that. So started this thing. Then Biodun would say something, Kingsley would say something, and I would answer him. It was just a witty conversation. I don't know. He was looking for my trouble, and I was answering him back or something. So that's so you can continue now.
So we got to the house. Like I said, so they went to call her down. It was dark. So I really couldn't see her face or features. And besides, she was saying that jalabia, so she didn't look, she was looking shapeless. You know? Yes, now.
There's no way I could look shapeless.
It was bigger than you.
Even if I tried.
So she was looking shapeless, you know? And her hair was not made, you know? And that's what I tell people all the time, you know? That's why you can't always move by looks. Because if I judged by looks, I just felt, there's nothing happening here.
But you didn't see me though. God helped you.
Yeah, but I didn't really, but you see, I heard you. Because everywhere was dark and all that, so we couldn't make out each other, but we knew each other. However, but in the conversations, I kept hearing how smart and witty her replies were. I was like, this girl that has kind of sense of humor, that is this smart. I like this girl.
They try.
I like this girl and everything. So
you don't rate me.
So I just made a note of the fact that I would like to talk to this girl again. So I don't know whether I took your number that day or I don't know what happened. Well, actually,
no. Biodun Awofusi asked for my number. That Mildred, we should hang out again. Now what's up? So I gave him my number. So you now said you won't collect number from you now snatch it from him. So you guys were.
No, I had already made up my mind that I need to talk to this girl again because she was very fun, very smart. That's what I'm telling people. It's good to build, beyond your looks. The generation we have today, there's so much emphasis and focus on looks, organic cream, bone straight. Those are the things that happen.
all work. They join together to help move markets.
But you have to. The inside is more important because your shape can attract them. Being sharp is what we keep him. Them, So Professor Solomon David, Professor Emeritus of Relationship, and that's one of our first prominent relationship coaches ever in this life. What did he say? He said, a beautiful face on an empty head is like putting a gold ring on a pig's nose. So imagine that. So he's saying, look, beyond your looks, you need to have something up there. So that's what attracted me to her in the first. It wasn't her looks. I couldn't see her, but I heard her and she was very smart. I'm like, man, I have to meet this girl again. And interestingly, before you come back to your own side again, interestingly, and she'll give us the detailed gist of that gist. So when we're now going to do the reunion itself, the proper event, she wasn't planning to come. But we needed somebody to bake cake, and she had gone to learn how to bake. So this is why I tell you this again, or even guys, do something with your single years. Don't just say I'm waiting for marriage. Learn a skill, learn a hobby, be a part of something. Sometimes along those things that God will use to connect you with someone. Because she had gone to learn how to bake, we just said, okay, you know what, Mildred, you bake the cake. And she had to bring the cake that day, so that's why she came. She didn't really want to come. She didn't like people. She didn't like hanging out. So she didn't want to come for the reunion, but that baking the cake made her come, and we got closer again on that day because of something that happened. She'll give that gist. We got closer on that day and things.
So it actually was like an Isaac and Rebecca moment.
It's Isaac and Rebecca, Moses and...
No, it's Isaac and Rebecca, where the servants got there and said he wanted water. If she didn't carry the pot, she won't get water now. So for me, it was fact that I could bake that meat. So after that day, I killed Kemi and kind of resurrected her. But I didn't talk to her for almost like 2 weeks or something. But we started talking again. And then Biodun now used that opportunity. Biodun Oladeji now came to me and said that they were doing the reunion. They wanted me to come. I said, okay. It's no sad that causes problem. So I said, okay, and planned in my heart that I wasn't going to go. There was nothing I was looking for there. First of all, I didn't think command people, me and them, we don't pass the same road. Love you guys now, but I just didn't see any reason to go there. Like, forgetting the things that are behind. Why am I still pressing on to a reunion? Like, I just felt everybody move on with your life. Let's all be doing good. So he came to me and said, oh, they wanted someone to bake the cake. I said, that's people's business. And he was like, no, that everybody said it's you're going to bake the cake and all that. So I said, okay, this is what we'll do. I'll bake the cake. Biodun, you pick it up and you take it. And Biodun said, okay. 2 days to the day, he said, that it just occurred to him that the cake may fall. It may squash and all that, so we need somebody to hold the cake and all that, and that there's nobody going. Kemi is not going. This one, he just came up with one story. Anyhow, I am such a male that I hate doing something and it will be messed up. So I just said, let me just carry the cake by myself and go and deliver it. And I had a friend living with me at the time, Opex. She kept saying, make we go now, you too dry. Make we go, wait till they there, let's go. You know? So she kind of just convinced me. So I carried the cake, got there, handed the cake over to Mabel. Interestingly, Mabel was in charge of catering, so I handed the cake over to Mabel, and I went to sit down. I wanted to sit down for a few minutes and then I'll be out. Sat down for a few minutes. And while I was there, being very utterly snobbish, because everything they were doing, I was just saying, what's this one? Oh, this one? Won't these people just grow? Because they were all doing command things like, oh, can you remember this? Can you remember that? I'm like, why? Why are we remembering all this? So they were all doing all of that. And I just sat in one corner, really just looking at everybody. And then one guy walks up to me and says, would you dance with me? So I said, and they were playing secular music. And yes, I used to be like SU. So we're playing secular music, and I was wondering, what is going on here? So the guy comes to me and says, will you dance with me? I said, where you're gone. And that's all I said. I didn't really think about it because I was being mischievous when I said where you're gone. Because I was like, you came to meet me to dance with you to secular music, gone. Are you really serious? So I was just being, my regular, naughty, witty self. I didn't think much of it. But apparently the guy was drunk and I didn't know. So the guy went off on me. This is what you've always done in command. You think you're better than everybody. Who do you think you are?
She was better than her.
And so he went back and he just really, literally went off. People now gathered. It was a big deal. So he was just shouting and all that. I was like, I beg, I'm not having this conversation with you. So he was like, no, I've always done this kind of thing. Who do you think you are? I said, first of all, I don't even remember you. Who are you? First of all, I'm sure you were a nobody in school. Sorry. I don't know how I said that. I was really upset. And so Pastor K now appeared on the scene like the superhero. And I was like, he just turned to the guy and said, go and sit down now. And the guy just went like a little mouse and sat down. Tomorrow, I don't even know who the guy is.
I'm telling you.
The guy just went like a little mouse to go and sit down. Like maybe he remembered the Kingsley of those days that used to punish his mates. And just say, I beg, I don't want this guy's trouble. I said, go and sit down. The guy just went away quietly. And so Pascal dispersed the crowd. Like Jesus said, he used with that.
I need to give a mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Everybody move back.
And so he literally drove everybody away. And I was just sitting there really fuming. So he came to sit down by me. I was like, what's wrong with you? I said, so what do you need? I said, I'm really angry now. I just need to calm down. And I said, so you vex like this? I said, yes. So I said, that guy get loco. I said, no, be here. I go wound him. You know, I said, just calm down, you know, and just talk to me. So we kind of just started talking. I don't even know what we were talking about. We just started gisting and all that. And then I said that it's true that he has my number, but that he hasn't called me, that he will call me after the thing. I said, okay. I didn't really think much of it. I left early. I didn't wait till everything. I left a bit early. Then when I got home, you sent me this message that you don't know, that you are seeing what you are seeing on the road. That am I good with roads? I said yes. Then I said that what you are seeing on the road is Ibadan. I said, why can you be seeing Ibadan? He said, that you are not sure. You took a wrong turn at Oshodi. I said, where are you going to? He said, First Stack. I said, wait. I was running all over the place, not knowing that Vasco was in his house. So I was running. I was like, what can you see? Let me find somebody who can direct you. I started looking for my cousin. I started looking for my brothers. I was also looking for somebody to do that. I didn't even know why I was so bothered. Funny enough.
You don't have a deep favor.
So he was really very, you know, after a while he now sent me a message that no, I'm at home. I am joking. I was so mad. I was so mad. That's why I'm not going to talk to him. So a couple of days after that, by this time, I'd already had done my whole episode and everything. So we started talking.
Yeah.
We started talking one-off, nothing major. So you now sent me a message that you wanted to go out. There was a day you wanted to go out with a couple of guys.
This one is not in how you knew I was the one.
No.
This story.
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
How you knew I was what? You were not even in the.
Okay.
You were not interested then, no. You were not interested then. You can't remember.
No, who told you I was not interested?
Oh.
That's what will lead to the story now. Except you have others.
Yeah, pretending.
Let's say it in next week. Okay, so we'll continue this gist. I was not pretending really, but we'll continue this gist in the how did you know he or she was the one.
Okay.
All right. See you in the next clip.